are 2 of them, though, so make sure that you have the right one. Vic, do you have your evaluation sheet? Okay.
Nobody panic.
Nobody panic. Everybody remember we're all in the same boat. Okay? And here's the other thing. All computers off and shut. Except for you if you're using it for time. Okay, but everybody else off and shut. We really, really, really want to give each other a tremendous amount of support today. All right, please. Be good audience members. Okay? Me too.
Can I, it's
Yes,
running
you having
something
trouble?
there. No, but I'll just set it over here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm ready. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bobby Patel, and I am an employee of Yahoo. And I would just like to ask, how many of you have felt stressed or unproductive at work and just needed to take a vacation? Okay, well today I'm here to talk to you about changing our vacation policy from a 15-day policy to an unlimited policy. I have talked to several people within our industry to find out the implications of changing policies. And companies that have already switched, such as IBM and Netflix, have actually shown increased productivity and employees working longer hours. First, I want to talk about how that can be implemented into our company. Second, I would like to talk about how we can reduce stress by not having to monitor vacations. And third, I would like to talk about how employees are able to maintain a better work-life balance. Changing policies is a very realistic goal for us, and we need to implement it immediately. To begin with, we become more efficient. Now, some of you might be thinking, wouldn't our employees just take every day off? Well, to successfully implement this policy, we would need to implement deadlines. Projects would have to be completed by deadlines. As one of our employees, Sandy Rodriguez, states, I love this concept because if people get their work done, it should not matter how and when they are doing it. I would love to work from my laptop on a beach somewhere on an island, says Sandy. And people are willing to get their work done if that means that they can work from the beach or at home. In turn, this increases our productivity. And this increases our productivity because we are able to reduce deadlines for projects by a day or two. Now, some of you might be saying, you know, people are not always working. When they're on vacation, our employees are not being fully efficient. Well, a friend of mine goes to work at 9 a.m., he works until 1 p.m., and when he gets bored at what he's doing, he browses the internet until it's time to leave at 5 p.m. So people are not always working just because they are at work. Next, I would like to, since I've talked about how we can become more efficient, I would like to talk about how we can reduce stress. Not having to maintain vacation schedules reduces stress for our company. As Brian Halligan, HubSpot CEO, says, employees are able to take vacations whenever they need to, and we do not have a spike in vacation at any point of time in the year. And this really helps us because our employees will not all leave at the end of the year. Now, it's really important to us that our employees are able to maintain a work-life balance. As Roxy Morphesis, one of our employees, says, I love this concept because it shows personal responsibility in allowing to balance time and projects. The Motley Fool also weighed in on this concept and said, vacation days are a flawed concept because employees should know when they need to be working. This here is a chart, and I would just like to say, jobs are just one aspect of life. Employees should be able to maintain a balance, and jobs should not consume your life. Now that I've summarized the benefits of changing policies, I would just like to talk about some of the advantages. First of all, we become more efficient. Second, we are able to reduce stress by not having to maintain vacation schedules. And third, employees are able to maintain personal lives. And our employees are proud to be with us because they can work in a stress-free environment. As one of my friends, Andres Duez, says, his company implemented the policy, limitless vacation policy 2 years ago, and they have never looked back. He said that employees are never, ever have abused the freedom, and they love it. And we can implement this policy in our company. Thank you for your time.
Very well. Ready? I'll let you look them later. Very, very good.
All right, I am a server at Carrabba's, and I'm going to be explaining cloud computing to all of you, who are the CEO, CFO, and all the people that I work on a day-to-day basis. I'm ready. Let me repeat that back to you. To start off, you would like house salad with dressing on the side. You'd like a ribeye cooked medium rare, and a side of cavatappi amatriciana. For your drink, you'd like a glass of red sangria with extra ice. So about at this point where I look up, I realize I have 4 more orders to take. I'm currently being sat, and there's a line to use the computer at the server station. 5 minutes later, after inputting the order, I hear the kitchen staff call my name. Hey, Emily, we're out of ribeyes. My name is Emily Roberts. I've worked at Carrabba's since 2009, and I love working in the fast-paced environment. Fortunately, this occasionally turns into an overwhelming to-do list of customer demands, running food, and inputting orders into the computer station. Last week, Carrabba's spent $100 in server overtime costs, and we lost $300 worth of food that spoiled due to mismatching inventory and sales. After reading the Harvard Business Report, Why Every CEO Needs to Learn About Cloud Computing, I suggest implementing a cloud computing system within Carrabba's to help us solve these problems. Caesar Romanowskis, a system engineer at a UK restaurant, says, "The cloud is not just another buzzword, but it is where the future of productivity lives." Our costs, risks, and storage usage shrank considerably, while our productivity, revenue, and user satisfaction increased multiple. Today I'm going to discuss the 3 main benefits of implementing cloud computing. They are wireless ordering, superior inventory management system, and increased customer satisfaction. I will follow these by discussing the risks, the costs, and the proposed timeline. All right. To begin, their benefits of cloud computing are threefold. The first is wireless ordering will be available. This will be available through OrderTalk, which is an application that can be used on a smartphone or a tablet. Through this application, servers can input customer orders, review them with the customers, modify them, and send them directly to the kitchen. In addition, this also takes credit card payments, which will increase customer satisfaction, and this reduces the redundant process of the order taking process. So servers will have more time and will be able to take a 4th table. Therefore, fewer servers will be required for each shift, and overtime costs will be reduced. The second main benefit is superior inventory management system. As the wireless orders are placed on the OrderTalk application, they will be tracked and put into the cloud's online database. More accurate inventories will be generated every other day. The software will automatically place orders for the food that has been most popular in the recent weeks. This will reduce our food spoilage to $50 per week compared to the $300 that it has previously been. The last benefit of cloud computing is increased customer satisfaction. Customers will be more satisfied as their orders are delivered with more accuracy, as payments are made directly at the table, and also through the inventory management system, we will be able to track local preferences, and we will be able to send out specials according to the preferences in the local areas. Unfortunately, there is a risk involved with cloud computing. This risk is the prospect of unreliability. If a technical failure were to occur, servers would be required to take orders manually, as we have in the past, and speak with the kitchen directly. This is very unlikely to occur. The Radicati Group, which is a technology market research firm, claims that Google's cloud Gmail system is 32 times more reliable than the average corporate email system. Therefore, this is very unlikely to occur. So, how much is this going to cost? I bet you are all curious. This will cost approximately $4,000 per store, which may sound like a lot, but it will. The cost will be recovered within 3 months due to no more overtime costs and a reduced cost in waste. I will now discuss the timeline. Initially, we will have a 3-month test market, as you can see up at the top, and this will include a 1-month period of evaluation and analysis. Once we've determined whether the cloud will be successful in the Carrabba's stores, we will begin to implement the cloud. Wireless ordering will be available, and we will also track the sales. After we've had enough data in the system for a long enough time, the new inventory system will begin, and within 5 months of the timeline beginning, locals, specials, and sales will be placed according to local preferences. So let's review. Currently, there are 50 chains that are currently using cloud computing and OrderTalk's revolutionary technology. As I said, the benefits are wireless ordering, superior inventory management, and increased customer satisfaction. This will help us save money as overtime is eliminated and our food spoilage cost is reduced. In conclusion, I believe that we should implement cloud technology into Carrabba's as it is innovative and is where the future of productivity lives. This will help us save our money while increasing user satisfaction. On that note, I will go grab your red sangria with your extra egg.
So my audience is actually you in your current position. And I am in my current position as a student with you. So you don't have to do too much imagination here. But okay, good. Imagine that you've just landed your dream job at a Fortune 500 company. Your boss has asked you to lead a meeting where you're going to merge with a Japanese firm. You're excited and ready to practice the skills you've learned in Dr. Williams' communication class. You sit down at the conference room and you say, let's get to work, let's roll up our sleeves, and you begin your presentation. Halfway through your presentation, you begin that some of the Japanese are kind of bowing their head and closing their eyes, completely distracting you from your presentation, and you get a little rattled. Later, approximately a week later, the Japanese firm calls back and says, we are not interested in this merger. What went wrong? A couple of things. First, the Japanese preferred that the elder would be presenting at this meeting, not the younger new shot that you represent. They prefer the status. Second, rolling up your sleeves might mean getting to work in the United States, but in Japan it means I'm ready to fight, conveying a completely different message than what you wanted to convey. And third, the Japanese, if they're really listening intently, will close their eyes so that they can fully concentrate. My name is Stephen Lichty, and I have traveled to approximately 50 countries, and I've lived overseas for about 7 years, so I know the importance of cross-cultural communication and how many of these faux pas can be detrimental in a business relationship. So what I want to talk about today is an innovative leadership development for cross-cultural success for MIB students at the University of Florida. This is going to create a competitive advantage for you and other students at the University of Florida. My agenda is going to be talking a little bit about our competitors, some innovation, some psychometric testing and training that would be important, as well as a cross-cultural training component, and then I'll make some concluding remarks. Our competitors. At the graduate level, there's only 3 schools that do something similar to what I am proposing. Georgetown University, Columbia University in New York, and the University of Texas in Austin are the only 3 schools that do this. At the undergraduate level, there's only one school that is doing this, and that is the University of Virginia. The need for innovation is important, and it's key to bring this innovation at the right point. This graph shows that on a timeline of success, or an axis of success and time, the point of innovation should be here at point A. It's before you reach the apex of the curve. If you do innovation later than this, you're behind the curve. And so innovation is important to do it while you're continuing your success. The University of Florida has a very successful business program, and the point of innovation is now. One of the key components to this would be psychometric testing and training. This would be a half-day orientation that would be focused on some of the more familiar psychometric testing that is out there. These include the Myers-Briggs, the Enneagram, and the DISC test. Then, once you've taken these tests, the application of the results would help you understand your communication styles and communication styles of others. The second part of this training, then, would be cross-cultural training, where we learn about Japanese closing their eyes, or some of the meanings of rolling up sleeves and so forth. This cartoon represents the confusion that can occur when you arrive at an airport. Do you bow? Do you shake hands? What are the procedures that you do when you're meeting someone? This half-day orientation would consist of formal lectures where different experts would talk about the different attributes from Asia to Latin America to Europe and some of the standards that you would use during those interactions. And then one of the more exciting parts of the day would be this informal cross-cultural simulation game. We essentially divide the group into two teams, you give them cultural rules, and then you have them intermingle and mix and have them try to discern what are the underlying cultural attributes in this society to help you become attuned with how do you discern what those are when you're in a new environment and maybe you're not familiar with. So let me conclude with reiterating some of my points. Our competitors, I said, there's very few schools that are actually doing this sort of work. So Florida would be joining those schools in that endeavor. The need for innovation is important to do it before decline is occurring in a business. Psychometric testing would enable students to understand their communication styles, and then cross-cultural training would enable you to take that skill and apply it in different global environments. The end goal, ultimately, is maintaining the competitive advantage for the expansion of the Gator Nation, something that we all want to see, and as the Gator Nation expands, our careers and our opportunities expand as well. Thank you.
Background. I am a marketing associate at Starbucks, and I'm presenting to corporate leaders and the marketing team. And another piece of background is in Starbucks company culture, they refer their corporate responsibility practices just as responsibility. That's the term that they use. According to Cone Communications, 90% of consumers would like a company to inform them on how they're benefiting a cause. This percentage makes up nearly 278 million Americans. Currently, Starbucks does not advertise any of our corporate social responsibility activities. Imagine the number of customers we're missing out on simply because they're unaware. Historically, I realized we wanted to allocate most of our marketing budget to promoting our products, but I propose, based on these stats, we implement a series of free and low-cost initiatives to get the word out about our responsibility. Some benefits of these initiatives not only include increasing awareness of our responsibility practices, but increasing sales. Today, we're going to talk about public relations, social media, and sales promotion. let's start with the most encompassing tactic, public relations. Public relations simply means promoting a positive public image. The main tactic of public relations is releasing press releases to news outlets about new things happening with the company, such as product innovation or nonprofit work. I propose that Starbucks increase the number of press releases we issue. In addition to increasing the number of press releases we issue about our responsibility, we should utilize our listservs, emailing our Starbucks Reward customers updates the same time we release press releases. This will only result in more news coverage, keeping the Starbucks brand name at top of mind, resulting in more sales. So from increasing the number of press releases issued, we'll not only see more traditional news coverage and more sales, but also an increase in online news coverage. This will drive more traffic to our website and social media, bringing me to my next point. According to socialbakers.com, Starbucks has the 4th largest number of Facebook fans of any brand in the world. We really need to capitalize on our extensive digital following. Our current Facebook fan page mostly focuses on our products. I propose we create a new Facebook fan page solely for our responsibility and link posts between the two. This will increase our fans' awareness of our nonprofit work, at the same time increasing sales, as customers are more likely to purchase from a charitable brand. For example, our recent efforts to assist Sumatran farmers in dealing with climate change could be connected with our current promotion, the Treat Receipt. This brings me to my next point, sales promotion. Starbucks already engages in sales promotion, such as offering a discount to customers that bring in their own reusable tumbler. By combining sales promotion and our responsibility efforts through public relations and social media, we can increase even more sales. So when we issue a press release, we'll tell our fans about it via our social media, and then a sales promotion discount will be offered as a reward or a celebration for this responsibility effort. Connecting all three things will make that connection in the consumer's mind from helping the community to saving money. Once this connection is in the consumer's mind, some benefits will include increasing brand awareness overall, not just of the Starbucks name, but of our responsibility efforts. Therefore, increasing consumers and sales. As I stated before, customers want to shop at a charitable brand. Not only will we reward our global breakthroughs, but also those of local neighborhood Starbucks stores. All of our local stores are encouraged to participate and promote neighborhood events. We hope by implementing this process will not only motivate consumers to keep up with responsibility, but to even participate in their own local community service. In conclusion, customers want to know about a company's social responsibility efforts. Through public relations, social media, and sales promotion, we can make that connection in their mind between helping the community and saving money. The next step will be to meet with the marketing team to discuss details of this implementation. Any questions?
You guys gonna be the lead committee of Universal Studio Company. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Huang Huang. I'm the marketing manager of Universal Studio Company. Today, I have a proposal to build a new Universal Studio theme park in the city of China named Kunming. In the following, I will convince you that this will be a great investment. In my presentation will include, first, China is a hot market, and second, the tourism in China is booming. And third, the city named Kunming should be the location. Now let's look at the world map. There are 4 sites of our Universal Studio theme park in the world. There are already 2 in Asia, but no one in China, which is one of the biggest emerging economies in the world. Issues like visa and language make it inconvenient for Chinese people to visit the foreign sites. So open a theme park in China will be a wise choice because China is a hot market that no one can afford to lose. Okay, now let's take a look at the other picture, which could totally demonstrate the enthusiasm of Chinese people for tourism. As you can see in this picture, there's a huge amount of people in the park during holidays in China. Because recently, the tourism has become more and more popular among Chinese people. However, in China, most parks are static but not interactive. So those people will definitely interested in our dynamic and entertainment, just like our Universal Studio company. Okay, here comes my first question. What is the most important for a theme park? Well,
Right.
location, which is the golden rule. For example, in US, only California and Florida have this blessing. Okay, here's my second question. Where is the best place for us to open a theme park in China? The famous cities like Beijing and Shanghai are too freezing in winter and scorching in summer, so we should avoid them. After our research, we found out the city named Kunming in Yunnan province is a great place. Because first, the city Kunming also called Spring City, because the weather is between 63 to 78 all over the year. And second, thanks to the desirable weather, the city is already a famous tourism city. According to the Vice Governor Liu Ping in the Province Tourism Conference in 2012, last year over 173 million people visited Kunming. Third, the city Kunming put a lot of investment to upgrade its city infrastructure. For example, the new airport, which is one of the biggest airports in the world, has been approved to use last month, and the Merchant Subway will start to run at the end of this year. And in addition, the Kunming has been a commercial hub for South Asia since 100 years ago. So these people from those countries will definitely also be our potential customers. And the last, there is a government policy which has been approved by the Province Congress in 2009 to encourage the tourism-related investment by tax cuts and discount finance rate. So, given its cool weather and the model infrastructure and the status as the tourism haven, our new Universal Studio theme park in Kunming, China will promise us a lucrative profit. Thank you.
Audience to bring me with new software and then they can use it. So, Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Xian Peng from Samsung IT Library Manager. So Samsung comprises numerous subsidiaries and affiliated businesses, such as electronics, heavy industries, and life insurance. Most of them are connected very closely. We used to think they can exchange information better with the companies outside Samsung. But that's not the truth, and that's why I think we need a new messenger which can provide effective and efficient communication. So, my presentation just want to show you the instant messenger is benefit for our productivity, management, and only cost a little. First of all, improve productivity. I don't know how many of you have such experience. One day when I met a problem, I sent an email to the customer service department. On the second day, they sent me a guideline. When I followed guideline, it didn't work at all. So of course, I asked for help again. And the man of customer service department said he needed more time to ask the engineer. Later, he gave me some new suggestion. The new suggestion worked well until some new problem came out, and it's always like this. So the man of customer of the service department was between the engineer and I for a long time. The same thing also happens in Samsung. Even both the customer and engineer are our employees. They cannot talk to each other directly. Look at this chart. It's from Samsung annual report last year. It shows the employees' working time distribution. The green part, almost 20% is for communication, but most often it is used to send out email address, phone number, and wait to reply. If we have a new instant messenger which can download all the employees' contracts, we will save this time a lot, and our employees will have more time on their work. So it's also a good news for management. So the most important thing is improve information security. Because all the data is stored on our server and database, if we want, we can get any data back, even it has been deleted on your client part. And never worry about the disclosure of trade secrets, because we can monitor the whole business process. And for IT staff, it's also, and they will find the maintenance will become easier because all the companies use the same software and they didn't debug and test a lot. So is it hard to build such a software? The answer is no. Instant messaging is a mature technology. It has been used for over 40 years. Most of its initial faults and inherent problems have been removed. It's widely used. No special training is needed, not require any changes on current system and hardware. And unlike building a new complex communication system, which will cost 1 or 2 years and millions of dollars, such a project only needs to run a few months and less money, maybe only 10%. I said this because last year we did some similar project. We finished testing and released the software in 6 months. At the end, I have to say it again. A new instant messenger is a cheap way and easy way to improve our productivity, management, and information security. Thank you.
Okay, so I am presenting to marketing team as well as engineers, sales, CEO, all that good stuff of LexisNexis. Can I post this? Oh boy. All right. Just a quick reminder, the majority, pretty much everybody in LexisNexis are certified attorneys, so any technical terms or things like that that I may use, you'd be familiar with. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Before we begin, I'd like to play for you a customer service call we received just a few days ago.
is on. It is making my work twice as hard. How do I uninstall it?
As many of you may know, my name is Arletis Rodriguez. I am the head of the customer service department here at LexisNexis. Our objective here today is to collectively find solutions to customer complaints calls such as this one, so that we can improve what is already a very good product and increase our revenues as a result. There is no question that Lexis for Microsoft Office is revolutionary in the industry because it solves two of the most difficult aspects of legal writing, researching and citing. However, there's still a few issues that need to be resolved. To begin with, Lexis is the first to have this facilitator in the market. We have the first mover advantage, which we would like to maintain. Second, the add-in will give us a competitive advantage over Westlaw, our biggest competitor. And last, it will increase our market share because of the increase in demand of law students wanting access to this feature will increase their demand for LexisNexis and will create switching costs for them when they graduate and join the legal profession. To begin with, Lexis has a first mover advantage by launching a facilitator such as this in the market before anyone else. However, if we continue to attract customers to use the add-in and they are dissatisfied as a result, this advantage is easily lost. And then if Westlaw decides to imitate the add-in and does a better job at it by learning from our mistakes, we stand to lose thousands of dollars or more in lost sales. That is why it is important to improve functionality so that we can maintain this first mover advantage. Second, Westlaw, the add-in will give us a competitive advantage over Westlaw. Lexis for Microsoft Office will check your sites and will shepherdize all of the cases used in the documents as is seen in this screen here. This is by far the most useful tool for law students who usually have a terrible time citing and checking cases that they've used in their documents. By having this tool, law students will be much more motivated to use LexisNexis because they want access to this feature. The add-in, this cannot come at a better time because we are now facing growing competition from both Bloomberg and Mountain View being, of course, free. As you can see on the screen, these are two other features of the add-in. You don't need to switch between screens, and it will recognize terms of art for better searches. The add-in pushes competition to focus on differentiation and functionality. As you can see, this is very, very important. It will give us a competitive advantage. Also, no other legal search site has this offer. And if we can improve functionality, it will offer greater ease for researching and making a better work product at the end. Third, the add-in will increase our market share. A Stanford Law survey found that when the majority, 73% of law firms, specifically 245 of them, when asked, said that they preferred Westlaw over Lexis, significant margin. Further, when they asked law school libraries what they thought, they also preferred Westlaw. In fact, one of them said that their students preferred it and found it easier to use. This is why it is vital to increase or attract more law students to use Lexis for Office and, by association, LexisNexis. It will create switching costs for them because they become very used to using our systems, so that when they graduate, they will continue using LexisNexis and not switch over to Westlaw or some of the other legal search sites. This, in turn, will create brand loyalty, and that will increase our market share. So, to conclude, improving Lexis for Microsoft Office will maintain our first mover advantage, it will give us a competitive advantage over Westlaw, and it will increase our market share. It is my recommendation that we improve functionality by better integrating Lexis for Office with Microsoft Office. So we allow for changes in checked sites so that users can switch from a long site to a short site, and that we modify the software so that it also checks short sites. What is this going to cost? In our original budget, we've accounted for improvement costs, so all of these modifications and changes have already been accounted for. This concludes my presentation. I will now take any questions you may have. Thank you.
I lost it for a second. That's okay, you got it back.
You got the attorney walk down though.
Huh?
You
Yeah,
got the
that's
attorney
true.
walk down.
Yeah.
Power pump.
Hello everyone, I'm Yi, and you are my audience. I'm an associate manager from the Disney World Company marketing department. I'm ready. Today I'm going to talk about Open the Disney World in Beijing, and this is my agenda. First is why I pick Beijing as my position. Second is the advantage for our company and also the advantage for Beijing. From this chat, we will see that there are already four Disney World in the world: Paris, Tokyo, Los Angeles, and Hong Kong. And Orlando is a Disney World. It's a Disney World which is more bigger and have a lot of fun. Shanghai is building a Disneyland now. So some of you may have the question about there are already two Disneyland in China. It's the new Disney World in Beijing gonna make us a profit? My answer is yes. First, let me show you why I pick Beijing as my position. As the status above, the permanent population there is over 19 million from the National Bureau Status of China. And the next data is about visitors in the year of 2011. It's over 0.2 billion. So as we can conclude from this status, we won't need to worry about that there won't be enough visitors there. So second, let me talk about the benefits for our company. First, it's we will gain huge profits from this opening because we provide good quality products and also services. So we can surely gain huge profits there. And second, we will know more about Chinese culture, especially from north part of the China, because culture is different from north part of the China and also from the south part of the China. And we want to introduce our other industries such as film and cartoons to the Chinese potential huge market. So from this opening, we will get to know more about the Chinese culture there. And the third, I will talk about the benefits for Beijing. This time, we will choose a joint venture strategy, which we have chosen already for the Disneyland in Hong Kong and also in Shanghai. This joint venture strategy will enable us to gain a lot of profit. Since the local company also have shares between us with our company, so it will make us to gain a lot of large incomes, and also we provide a lot of local job and work opportunities there. Third, it's also a window for Chinese to know more about the Western culture because Disney has a lot of history and has a long influence on the Western world. If Chinese people can experience experience the Disneyland by themselves, they can surely get to know more about the world outside them. So my conclusion is I want to have this proposal about opening a Disney World in Beijing, and it will have benefits for both our company and the people in Beijing and business in Beijing. Thank you.
you want me to time for you?
Okay. Yeah.
It seems I'm going to the wedding today. And I'm the marketing assistant in big corporation, and I'm making the presentation to the CEO and the marketing department. Can I have a try first?
Sorry?
Can I have a try first? I want to know how it works.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. And the topic on my presentation is China, our next destination. Here is my agenda. In the first, I will introduce what the objective is. Then I will introduce the objective. At the end, I will make a conclusion. In the first, our objective is to persuade you to allocate more money to Chinese market, as well as build factories here. I'm sure most of you will be confused. Why should we build new markets, and why China? There are many countries there. Why I should choose China? I will give you some explanation. The first one, why should we develop new market? I will give you some pictures to show that. From these pictures, we got to know that unemployment rate in America is really high. Even that in California, the unemployment rate is like 10.4%, really high. It's even harder for you Americans to get a decent job after graduation, not mention with international students. And no work will lead to no money. No money means no purchase. No purchase will result to no profit. And no profit will in turn lead to no work. It's really a vicious cycle. This is why we should develop new markets due to the high unemployment rate. And why we should choose China? It is just because I'm Chinese? Obviously not. I will give you 3 reasons, and you got to know why I choose China. The first one is that Chinese have a strong purchase power. And the second is due to the lower and even non-tax rate in China to attract for the foreign capitals. And the last one is that Chinese has the cheaper labor costs. I will give you some pictures to show that how crazy Chinese is about foreign brands. The first one, the second, okay. And in 2011, the total consumption in Chinese mainland luxury market reached $40.7 billion. And there is also a survey shows the foreign items that Chinese purchase most are handbags, jewelry, watch, and the most important, electronic items. That's exactly what our company produces. And the second reason is the tax privilege. Chinese government offers tax privilege to attract foreign capitals. Just take Hunan province, where I came from, for instance. It offered tax exemption for up to 3 years, which means you don't have to pay anything in the first 3 years. It really saves a lot of money for our company. And the second reason is that due to the cheaper labor costs. As everybody knows, China has the largest population in the world, which can make sure that it has adequate labor force. And it only costs $1 to $1.5 per hour in China versus $15 to $30 per hour in US, really. All these factors make China the perfect destination. And in summary, we, big corporations, should spare no efforts to develop Chinese market for 4 reasons. The first one is the high unemployment rate in US. And the second is Chinese has strong purchase power. The third is that due to the lower tax rate. And the last one is Chinese has adequate and cheaper workforce. Okay, thank you.
Yay!
Finish it.
Are we completely finished?
Yes.
Yep. That's it? That's it. Hey, turn it off.
Oh.